When you think of music, what do you think of? Audio CDs? Maybe buying them off an internet store for your iPod? How about cassette tapes? Or even older, records? Well, in my case, I think of video game music, because that's practically the only thing I really listen to. Well, video game music really isn't entirely unusual. But what is unusual? Play counts. That is not edited in any way. Those are actual play counts. 54,000. Final Fantasy 1 World, which is what I'm currently at right now. And I'm probably going to be at it for a long time yet anyway. Final Fantasy 6 World. You probably know from me and my site that it's my top favorite song. 30,000. But I haven't even had that for a year yet. This one I've had for close to 3 years by now. 3 years, that, barely 9 months, and, yeah, big offset in compatibility. Well, it's not really all that big of an offset. But, anyway. Now, when I process music, I follow a rather strange method. And by strange, I mean strange. First, which one of these is it? 479. That looks familiar. Yep, that's the song. I just like expanding it like that. You can see the details better. Now, if you've played Sonic 3 and reached Ice Cap Zone, you should recognize this song. To some extent, anyway. Well, it sounds a lot different. You know, it's not because of the microphone against the speaker type thing. Rather, it's because it's an actual remix that I made. But another thing that's unusual is I don't listen to the song at true speed. In fact, I rarely do. What do I mean by that? Well, as the origins go, it was with the Talkboy. I pop in one of my songs that I just recorded on tape from playing the actual game and threw it in slow motion just to see what it was like, and I actually liked it better than the fast speed. And of course, without where the lake is, where it gets really slow, 20% true speed, it's a big difference. But let's say I recorded that song, which is the true speed right now, and played it back in slow motion in the Talkboy tape recorder. What would it sound like? Experiments have told me that it's about 80% true speed. 80% times original sample rate, which of course was 50,000, .8 times 50,000 means 40,000 for 80% true speed. And this is what it sounds like. Sounds a lot different, doesn't it? Notice that the tempo has been reduced and the pitch also reduced. Well, the tempo is actually 80% of what it was, and the pitch is also 80% of what it was. But the song's length is 80% to the -1, or 125% of what it was. Yeah, I know, lots of math. But then, of course, if you were to play, if this was true speed, record it in Talkboy tape recorder, and put it and play it back in slow motion, of course, that'd be 80% squared, or 64% true speed. And that happens to be this, which is also one of my favorites, in my favorite area anyway. Really slow, isn't it? This song, in my case, has 4 parts. I just played the first and the second part. By part, I mean a part is basically a group of measures with a similar style of play. That's how I define it anyway. But in my case here, I keep slowing the song down until I find the point at which it doesn't sound any more decent. In this case, it's 35% true speed, or approximately 1/3. That means it would be really slow. Yeah, so slow. Yeah, that's really slow, isn't it? But I also do the same for the reverse direction. Now, let's say you recorded true speed in slow motion on the Talkboy, and you played it back at normal. Well, 80% raised to the -1, as I mentioned earlier, is 125%. That happens to be this. Quite a bit different, doesn't it? And, of course, as before, with the slow end, I keep going until I find the upper end. And in this case, it happens to be double speed. About, anyway. Really fast. That's part 2 in full, anyway, with a little leeway in. And once I get done with the finding out what the range of the speeds are, the next thing I do is find out what the range of frequencies is.